Hello everybody and welcome back to Rebellious Menstruation. This is a bloody tale about the trouble that I've been having with eBay and how essentially basically problematic sellers with false advertising and deceptive behaviour is making it more like a dodgy Wish than a legitimate competitor for the juggernaut that is Amazon. In the last 6 months, I've had 3 severe cases of items not being delivered in spite of alleged tracking items, and 5 items not being as described. Has been either the quantity changed after purchase and then the seller being uncooperative and incommunicative. The sellers have also faked pictures and the items have been counterfeit. This has happened again in the last week, whereby I purchased items. Actually, these were for a video that I plan to do for this channel. And I actually did purchase the item. Actually for a video in here, as I just said, and not only did the seller post the incorrect item, but they reduced the quantity from 5 to 1. I had actually gone on to eBay to leave feedback for another item I had purchased, and was this, so I purchased both items at the same time. So obviously they were right next to each other in the items I had purchased section. And I had noticed that the quantity had changed. So I had purchased both items on the same day. They had been posted on the same day. And then I had received one item, I think within 3 days, which was quite good postage. I expected as much, being that they were pretty, that purchase item was actually in the same country I was. And then went back in obviously to leave positive feedback and noticed that this quantity had changed. I questioned the seller immediately but received no response. The next contact, obviously I do all of this contact over eBay, included photos of the confirmation email and posted email notification containing the original quantity. This actually elicited a response stating that their marketer had made a mistake and that they hoped that this was okay. I was like, no, it's not okay. This is deceptive and fraudulent listing. If you had made a mistake and this was a genuine mistake, you should have contacted me immediately upon discovering this and stated essentially as such. If you had stated this at the start, I would have been fine with it and just would have requested a refund. But the fact that the seller decided to post the item, then change the quantity, is ridiculous. As this email exchange continued, the seller eventually agreed to refund the sale minus the postage. At this point, I agreed to end this fiasco, as my point in contacting the seller was to reiterate not to deceptively change listings post-auction completion. The seller stated he would refund in 24 hours. After 48 hours, I had to contact the seller and state that no refund had been received. He asked for another 24 hours, and 48 hours passed again. This time I stated that I will raise a dispute with eBay itself if the refund is not processed within the next 24 hours. As this was seriously starting to piss me off and had taken over 7 days. All I wanted to do was a simple YouTube video. And this is one of the multiple issues that I have had over eBay just this year. Again, I need to be suspicious of any seller, and I usually only buy from 99% and up sellers, and and I do actually have a quick review of the star sales, like for a seller, because you can sit at 99% but have like over 1,000 sales, and a couple of hundred of them could be negative, or you could have 100 sales and one of them be negative. So this, I always check just to glean if there are any problems. There was nothing to note with this seller. There were some neutral and negative feedback, but nothing majorly that looked of concern. I get that at some point you have to make a business decision, and that this seller made the completely wrong one. It pisses me off that there are sellers like this out there. I get that eBay can't police everything. They can't build the perfect algorithm to squirrel out these types of sellers, especially since I have eBay Plus. I understand that some comments online that they still feel, I understand from some comments online that sellers feel that eBay prefers or favours the buyer, and that they're encouraged to refund, meaning that they've lost the money and the item, which obviously completely sucks for them. But the feedback rating system is also kind of rigged in this situation. If you receive a refund, you're expected to leave positive feedback. However, this doesn't actually represent the truth of the experience with certain sellers. It manipulates feedback so that I would purchase from a seller with a high rating, but that's not actually telling the truth of this matter. I have received the refund, minus the $1 shipping of course, and I am still to decide whether to leave feedback. If it is positive, it's simply allowing the seller to pull this kind of behaviour again and again and again. But if I don't, how are people meant to know that this seller changes listings post-sale and blames everyone else for it? The seller keeps their high rating and I get to make this video. Not a fair trade, but hey. Thanks for watching, or listening to this rant at least. Have a great morning, afternoon or evening, and I of course will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.